We all love games. Even those who barely play them can recall one or two memories of their enjoyable time they passed playing something. However, many people, especially of older generations, do not think of games as of something serious, and instead as of something childish and even silly. But what really goes into developing a game? Hey there, I'm John, and in this new video we'll be talking about what a good game consists of and why developing a game is a talent. So, what a good game consists of? Of course, it's not just coding. Here is what games are. First, visuals that can be separated on drawing itself, the art and the visual effects, sound design that involves soundtrack and sound effects, story, code and other technicalities, and game design, because at the end of the day, it all must fit together. So, first, visuals. A game without visuals is hardly playable. You must admit that what we see has a crucial value on our perception of it. And after all, images just on their own can provoke emotions, can't they? Visual part in games is a big chunk of reason why the game feels the way it does. Starting from the art style and down to the color palettes used, artists have virtually limitless instruments and possibilities to present the game the way they want and need. A funny thing about games is that graphics aren't necessarily realistic. It is up to the artist's view whether his work should be realistic, or a complete art house, or something in between. But since a game is not a painting, it gets to be alive. And here is where the visual effects come in. Camera shake, bloody screen, blowing, flashes, even dust clouds upon a character's dash. All of that pleasantly fools you to believe that what you are playing is real. And let's be honest, we absolutely adore being subconsciously fooled by some nice work. And after we were fooled by some majestic game art, let's switch to sound design. First of all, let's be honest, if the audio feels to be off, that's where you also feel deep frustration. If you don't think so, let's just look at nice audio design compared to bad. See? It's just one small sound of shooting, but it can change the feel absolutely, and in a bad way as well. On the other side, it's also important to have your music chosen right. Just remember how much people love Jeremy Soul's Skyrim soundtrack, and I don't blame them, they really have a reason to. Or just recall how pleasant it is to hear the main theme of your favorite game or your favorite level. As for me, I'm in deep love with Darren Korb's soundtracks for Super Giant games. Story. By saying story, I don't mean a game must have a great plot. It just must be clear what's the story of you in this game. Why the player is here. Whether you are a monster slayer that's saving the world, or some cube that flies up and down while moving to the right side of the map, avoiding traps on its way because, oh well, just because. Coding. Probably the most hidden aspect of any game. However, the thing that actually allows you to play it. The game's code. Moreover, it's not just about writing a few symbols or a few lines. While developing, you also need to take into consideration how much resources the game takes and optimize it whenever it's needed. Not to mention that although there are thousands of ways of implementing a certain thing, the number of solutions that will be compatible with all the other code is quite limited. It's a non-stop process of generating and optimizing creative solutions that comes hand in hand with game design. What does the word design actually mean? By Merriam-Webster dictionary's definition, one of the meanings is an underlying scheme that governs functioning, developing, and also a plan or protocol for carrying out or accomplishing something. We just find a way to get what we want via planning and succeeding in these plans' executions. And that's quite true, since regardless of how great your resources are, a poor combination of these things can nullify all the good in your game. Thus, it is still better to use Mario's 8-bit soundtrack for Mario instead of turning on heroic music. And no visual effects in a shooter might result in the game being boring after an hour or two. Game design is not just about what you put in, it's also about how you connect the dots. And so, on this happy note, it would be reasonable to say game development is a link between all the arts, or even game development is art. But at the end of the day, what matters is whether you are enjoying your time playing a game. With this being said, thank you for watching. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, like, share and subscribe. See you next time.